Speakers should embrace the dark side. Because it's the dark moments of life where we build empathy and connection. But the key is not to leave your audience down in the dumps. It's about helping them to find the light in those dark places. In my new book, The Speaker Shanty, the main character, Stephen, meets a comedian called Julia. Julia's had some tough times in life, but she's learned how to find the light in those dark moments. And she builds her comedy set, and she builds her performance, and she builds her life direction around this principle of finding light in the dark. And when you read the book, you'll learn more about how to adopt this principle of finding light in the dark as a speaker. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to outline a couple of additional techniques you can think about, some additional approaches on top of this that are going to help you to build this principle of finding light in the dark and help you to build more empathy and connection with your audiences. The first way to build the principle of finding light in the dark is through identifying the common struggle. You have a set of life experiences that are unique to you. No one else has had your exact life story. But in those experiences, there are commonalities that other people have been affected by, that other people can learn from. To give you an example, one of my big life experiences is I lost my dad to cancer. Now, maybe you've lost your dad, maybe you've lost your dad to cancer, but probably you haven't. But that's not the thing. I'm not trying to share the story of losing my dad to cancer just to reach people who've also lost their dad to cancer. In that common struggle is the experience of loss. It could be loss of a parent, a spouse, a child, another significant relative. You don't need to have lost your dad to cancer in order to be able to understand and appreciate what the experience of grief and bereavement is like. And even if we go a little bit further than this, sometimes that really big feeling of grief and loss in life isn't always necessarily a person. It might be an identity, it might be a job, it might be a place that you've lived. So the common struggle can be stretched so much further than the exact experience you're sharing. So when you're sharing your experiences in a speech, when you're telling a story, when you're sharing personal experiences, don't feel, oh, I can't share this because it won't apply to most people. It's not the details of the experience that matter. It's the essence of the experience that matters. It's that common struggle within the experience that you share. And when you're able to bring this to life, you're able to help others find the light in their darkness. The second principle is lift, don't jolt. A really big mistake that I see speakers make when they're sharing a story, when they're talking about what is quite often a personal experience of struggle, they'll give all of the details of the struggle. So for example, for me, it might be I lost my dad, or I lost my job, or I had a health scare, I was made homeless, I was bankrupt. And then they jolt it to, but now I'm thriving, I love life, I'm the happiest I've ever been, I'm abundant, I have an amazing family, I have a beautiful house. And you're like, whoa, 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 we were down here seconds ago, and now we're all the way up here. It's an emotional jolt for the audience. We can't build the bridge between the difficulty and challenge of this experience and the jubilation of this experience. Now, this is a journey we absolutely want to take the audience on. We want to show them, look, here's how you can get out of your dark times into something better. But life doesn't jolt you out of the bad times. It's a gradual progression out of the dark times. And that's how you've got to build the journey as well. You've got to show the details. You've got to show the setbacks, the things along the way that you tried but didn't work, the failures on top of that. You've got to show how the journey is a bumpy road, rising upwards, but not a smooth upwards journey, and not a, woo, everything's suddenly better a week later. You've got to lift your audience out of the darkness. Don't jolt them out of the darkness. I'm going to give you one more principle for finding light in the darkness in just a moment. But before I do, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my new book, The Speaker's Shanty. I told you about one of the characters, Julia, earlier on, and she embodies this principle of finding light in the darkness. There are many more speakers that our main character meets through this story that teach him different lessons about being a great, impactful public speaker. And the book is available to buy right now. You can go to Amazon, you can buy it in your preferred format. But I have a better offer for you. I have a deluxe edition of this book where you can get the ebook, the audiobook, and I'll buy the paperback and send it to you. So you can have all three formats of the book instead of just having one off Amazon. All good so far. But on top of this, I'm also throwing in an online course, my 5-week superhero speaker online program. This is a live program that I ran, and I've taken all of the recordings from this program, packaged it into an online course for you, and this is teaching you how to unlock your speaking superpowers and make a greater impact on your audience. Now that course normally costs $147, but you get it included for free in the deluxe edition of the book. So you get all three versions of the book, whichever version you want, and you get the online course packaged in on as well. Much better than what you'd get just getting the book off Amazon. So to get your deluxe edition of the book, I've put the link in the description below. Click the link, get your deluxe edition, get your editions of the book, get that online course on top of it as well. Smashing. What more could you ask for? Now, I'm going to share one more principle about how to find the light in the dark. The third principle, and this is an advanced strategy, it has high risk, high reward. That's the use of dark humor. It's one thing to find light in the darkness, to try and find some purpose, to try and find some meaning, to try and find some direction. But can you find the funny in the dark? Can you poke fun of the challenges? Can you find satire? Can you find irony? Can you find that dark humor? Because if you're able to make fun of something that's difficult, you reduce the power that difficulty and that challenge has over people. And that is the secret source of dark humor. That's the secret source of all humor, to be honest. All humor is about reducing the power that things have over us. But dark humor is especially true. Now, of course, if you get this wrong, you can insult people, you can make people defensive, you can turn them off. So it's a strategy to be employed with caution, but also great speaking is about being bold. Sometimes you need to take risks. Sometimes you need to push the envelope. And dark humor is one of the ways in which you can do that. And that's something that you see a lot in this character, Julia, in The Speaker's Shanty. She's a comedian who uses dark humor to reduce the power that her challenges have over her, and to reduce the power that her audience's challenges have over them. And that's what you're able to do as a speaker when you're able to weave dark humor into your stories and into your speeches. As speakers, we are people that our audiences look up to. We are people who our audience are looking for guidance. They're looking for light. They're looking for direction. And if you can help your audience find light in their darkness, that's when you have great, impactful speaking. Embrace the dark side and reduce the power it has over your audience.